I'm Mindy Becerra of WBIL-TV. You have to pardon my voice. I'm losing my voice a little bit, but fortunately, I have this wonderful microphone. That helps. WBIL-TV is once again proud to be the media sponsor of the 36th Annual ARTSCAPE Festival, taking place July 21st through the 23rd. Produced by the Baltimore Office of Promotion and the Arts, ARTSCAPE celebrates the visual and the performing arts with exhibitions, theater, concerts, children's activities, an artist market, pop-up performances, and much, much more. The festival takes place in the Station North Arts and Entertainment District along Mount Royal Avenue and Charles Street, and the Parkway Theater is part of the 2017 ARTSCAPE as film returns to the festival. And isn't this a cool place? Isn't this cool? I love it. I love the rustic feel of it. It's really awesome. And to officially welcome us to the Parkway Theater and tell us more about film at ARTSCAPE is the founding director of the Maryland Film Festival, Jed Dietz.
Thank you very much. Thanks everybody for being here. Sort of hard to express how wonderful it is to be welcoming you to this great historic theater. Give you some sense of it, this theater that you're in now started showing movies in October of 1915. They were, of course, only silent movies then, and the first movie they showed was a movie called Zaza, which was 50 minutes long. Starred Pauline Frederick and doesn't exist anymore, it's long gone. We showed a silent film from the great F.W. Murnau at this year's festival with the Alloy Orchestra performing a new score that they had composed, and they performed live on the stage. And that film was 10 years younger than this theater. It's an amazing history. I mean, there really aren't a handful of these theaters left anywhere in the world, and many of them are slated for destruction or are being destroyed by elements as we speak. So it's a very rare building, and it had been under lots of different owners over the years. It showed movies all the way through '78, served this community really beautifully. And we wanted to show all of that love and ownership that you see around the walls in this space. And then, of course, we have two modern theaters in the other buildings that are now attached that are 80-seat theaters. And we've got a wonderful slate of films going right now. We had a couple hundred people in here last night to see a documentary about Jane Jacobs called Citizen Jane that you should put on your radar. If you can't get to the Parkway, which I hope you can, you should look to see that movie whenever it shows up on Sundance Selects. And the programming that we set out to bring to this complex is programming, including Citizen Jane, that would never have played Baltimore without us. And there are hundreds of films that come out every year in New York and LA and Chicago and even cities smaller than Baltimore that should be coming here, and that game has changed and is starting. One of the most thrilling things is to think about bringing shorts back to Baltimore. Bill Gilmore years ago said, we want to show films at ARTSCAPE, and we've tried it, and it doesn't quite fit. You know, nobody wants to stop in the middle of ARTSCAPE for 2 hours and watch a movie. And we had already started devoting our opening night to a part of the movie art form that very few people even know about, called short films. They play at every festival, but they're sort of sidebarred at places like Sundance. And we devoted our opening night to shorts. I think still we're the only general festival anywhere in the world that does that. And I said, I was describing that, Bill said, well, that might work. He said, that sounds like a great idea. And we started in a little tiny tent on Mount Royal showing shorts, and it was clearly too small a tent, we knew, and we had a bigger tent, and then we had another bigger tent, and then we started being in movie theaters in the Station North area as ARTSCAPE expanded up Charles. And it's thrilling now to be hosting this series once again. It's free short films that are every hour on the hour. We'll have filmmakers in town. We'll have a special event on Friday night. All of this free during ARTSCAPE. And we're bringing you up to a part of the neighborhood that includes some wonderful restaurants, Kevin Brown's Snack and Nancy's. We got Joe Squared, and we got Red Emma's. It's a vibrant neighborhood. It's going to be really thrilling to be part of this again. So to the Artscape team, thanks very much for restarting this, and in this great facility. We can't wait to be part of Artscape. Thanks so much. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you, Jed. I love the film component of Artscape. That's really cool. And Artscape, by the way, attracts more than 300,000 attendees each year, and there's so much fun to enjoy, so much to do both indoors and outdoors. And to give us a few of the highlights for 2017 is Kathy Hornig, Festival's Director for the Baltimore Office of Promotion and the Arts. Kathy.
Thank you, Mindy, and good afternoon, everybody. And another really good thing about film at Artscape is that it's air-conditioned, so keep that in mind. The 36th Annual Artscape Festival is just around the corner and is a highlight of the summer in Baltimore. This thought is what led the team at BOPA to the theme Camp Artscape, Adventure Awaits. So why camp? For many, one of the most exciting parts of summer is taking time to engage in new experiences. Whether at an away camp or a local summer camp, it's something to look forward to all year, truly a staple of the summer season. The same goes for Artscape. It's just not summer in Baltimore without it. As with the past theme, our artists here in Baltimore have taken the theme of camp and created one-of-a-kind programming. All along Charles Street, you'll see visual and performing arts installations, including the Charles Street Trail, Charles Street Campsite. Also, on the other side of the festival, the Mystic Campgrounds of Gamescape, presented by the University of Baltimore, spotlights a game-like campground experience. There's Dance Camp and Camp NASA. The universe awaits. Educational, interactive, and fun hands-on activities for would-be space explorers of all ages. Other highlights include the return of the art cars by popular demand, theater, opera, and jazz, comedy shows at LOL at Artscape, classical music, organ concerts, the artist-run art fairs, Artscape After Hours, 3 outdoor music stages, Kidscape, and a teen space inspired by BOPA's amazing Youth Arts Council. Also new this year is a portable gallery space to highlight the work of Brian High, this year's Fred Prize winner for high school students. In addition, the spirit of Artscape extends beyond July 21st and through the 23rd with the Artscape Gallery Network, all throughout Baltimore City, highlighting the works of applicants for the Janet and Walter Sondheim Prize, as well as other Baltimore artists. We look forward to seeing you at Artscape. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Sounds like a lot of fun at Camp Artscape. Well, between the visual art exhibitions and the available art for purchase, there is so much to look forward to, but many people want the answer to the big question: who are the performers at the main stage? And to give us that information is Mayor Catherine Pugh.
So are you all excited? Yes. Y'all want to know who it is? I'm not going to tell you yet. But before I get to this, let me just say a couple things. First, it's so exciting. Artscape is one of the most exciting things we do in our city every single year. And for those of you who don't know, one of those architects who have engaged the city for over, 20 years or so, has been Bill Gilmore. And I want to dedicate this Artscape to Bill Gilmore, because while he may leave that office, he will never leave my presence. Because for those of you who don't know, I've known Bill for almost 20 years. His talent, his skill, his ability to collaborate has meant so much to our city. So we know he's not going far, but I just think that it is appropriate that we dedicate Camp Artscape to Bill Gilmore and all of his efforts and all of his talent and all of his dedication to Baltimore. And I said earlier when I walked in, for those of you who don't know, I've also known Mindy since I was a city council person and she was a reporter. And someone said to her one time, you know, how come you always ask City Councilwoman Catherine Pugh the questions? And she said, because she talks in sound bites. And it makes it a little bit easier when we get back to do our editing. So thank you, Mindy. You do sound a lot better than you did this morning, so I know these mics are helping, so we want that throat to get well. Well, let me just say to Mindy, to WBAL, thank you again for being sponsors of Artscape. You know how much it means to the city and also how much it means to the visitors who come to our city. And I also want to take a moment to thank Baltimore because you've been so ingratiating to all of those who visit our city. That's why people keep coming back and coming back. I have to tell you, Bill, that one of the great activities that I enjoyed so much last year was the dancing. And I was walking up Charles Street and they were playing this music, and I was talking to someone about how, you know, in New York, in Times Square, people get to stand in Times Square and you stand there with people that you don't even know waiting for the countdown so your picture could show up on the screen. And as I'm walking up Charles Street, I see myself, I was like, oh my God, I'm on the Jumbotron. And so I'm dancing and I hear folks go, oh my God, it's Catherine Pugh. And so they start dancing with me. I think I ended up standing on top of something dancing. I hope nobody has that film. But what a great time. So you know that Artscape is not only a great event, but it's free. And free is what we want to maintain because it is quite a celebration of the visual and performing arts and the spotlights on local, regional, and national artists. Because believe it or not, we do have a lot of local people engaged in this process. Produced by the Baltimore Office of Promotion and Arts, the Artscape is made possible with the support of many sponsors, including, you heard me talk about WBAL, but the Maryland State Arts Council, Corrigan Sports Enterprises, Johns Hopkins University, Morgan State University, and NASA. In addition, I have to thank all of the city of Baltimore, all of our supporters, all of our agencies, because one of the things that we realize is that this is a collaboration. It's all of us working together on behalf of the citizens of Baltimore, as well as the visitors that will partake of Artscape. All of the sponsors, donors, agencies, and supporters are what really helps us to keep this event 100% free. Doesn't get much better than that. A major highlight of Artscape, as you well know, is the concert. You see how I'm taking my time getting to this? I see people are starting to sit up now and starting to lean forward, like, okay, get to it, get to it. There's something about every music genre and concert stages. I mean, there's just so much excitement that's going to take place at Artscape. All of these wonderful, great artists. Oh, I'm so, so excited. I'm looking at everybody saying, get on with it. So, on the main stage, y'all ready? Do the drum roll. All right, make some noise, make some noise, make some noise. Sheila E. So y'all know it's Prince's birthday. Purple rain, purple rain. Okay, so Sheila E's gonna be with us. And Gogo Bordello. And Robert Randolph and the Family Band. I'm also very pleased to announce the return of Dance to Artscape 2017. The Argentina dance group, Shay, is going to be here. Shay Mello. Okay, that's part of it. Okay, because I had ran that into, I made that a second group. Okay. Their performances at the Model Performing Arts Center at the Lyric have been outstanding. We're so happy to have them. This is just a short list because we want to keep you all, you know, excited about some of the other stages, what's going to be going on. But it's indoors, it's outdoors, and it's just going to be another exciting Artscape. Mindy, are you going to be performing at all?
Oh, I can't perform.
No performance by our great Mindy, but I can tell you that you're going to... You and I can dance. We can dance up Charles Street. But there'll be a lot of wonderful performances, so we are inviting everyone to, you know, get the word out there. And this is a great time for family reunions, for bringing friends that you haven't seen in a while to Baltimore City, and even some folks that you just love to death. Bring them to Artscape, and let's keep those numbers skyrocketing. Thank you all.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, she always did speak in great sound bites, but she's also so kind, and that was the other reason why we always came to see her. So that concludes our program. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please join us for refreshments outside if you saw those, and don't forget to download the ARTSCAPE mobile app, or you can visit artscape.org. I'm Mindy Becerra from WBIL TV, and have a great day, everybody.